Alright, good morning ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 2 of FSL Elite League of Legends Edition. For those of you that are here, it's still pretty early in the day. You should be watching at home on stream, I believe, because the doors only open at 12. But for now, you will be looking at the matchups and sort of the schedules for today. Remember that yesterday was the round robin stage, and today is going to be the upper and lower bracket sort of playoffs, if you will.
Alright, I mean, pretty excited to see what we have in store for everyone today. I think yesterday we had a very amazing set of games. On your screen now is, the results after, one entire day of playing.
Right, 6 games yesterday, and the end result was that Box Gaming, the Vietnamese representatives, came in 3-0. Pretty strong and dominating performance coming through. And top 10 DINOs from Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia server had a 2-1 result. So they are, going to be respectively first and second place in the playoff stages. Now, unfortunately for Liab, the Philippines representatives, and Lannisters, which were the Thai representatives, they did not do so well yesterday. It was a bit of a rough day for them. So, respectively 1 and 2 and 0 and 3. So that means that they will be 3rd and 4th when it comes to the playoff stages. In a second, we will be shifting over to, there you go, the upper bracket and the lower bracket. So this is the schedule for today. It's also going to be our sort of playoff bracket. You can see on your top left of your screen, Box Gaming and top 10 DINOs will be playing a best of 1. Winner of which will advance forward to the finals, and the loser, unfortunately, will drop into the lower bracket. So you can see loser of 1A is going to be the person that drops the match, at least the first game for today, and then Liab and Lannisters will have to play another best of 1 to decide who's going to be untimely eliminated from the tournament and who's going to progress forward.
Yeah, obviously, if you're Box Gaming or top 10 DINOs, you both want to win. You want to, have that downtime so you can understand what the other your opposition, who you're going to face in the finals, is going to end up playing.
Yeah, of course, and even I think the ladies from Lannister Overheat came early to sort of check up their opponents and get a feel of what the drafts are going to be like for today. But to remind our viewers, we will be your casters for today. I am Hungry Cass, and alongside me is Spoots. We are at the Suntec City, or Suntec Convention Center on the 6th floor. This is an event, held at COMEX. It's very different from the previous FSL Elite, which was at its own individual venue. But all the same, I'm very happy that we have had a great turnout so far on the venue itself, and I think the players are having a good deal of fun as they're being spectated by a great audience coming through.
Yep, super agree. It's too early in the day.
It's too early in the day. And the thing is, Chufan doesn't drink coffee because it gives him a headache, right?
Yeah.
So he ends up like super sluggish, but we try to work the kinks out early in the day so that the broadcast will be smoother later on. But now we're trying to get the players into the lobby where we're ready for them to start anytime soon. I just want to talk through what your expectations are for the best of 1 coming in, because winner bracket, you do have this sort of, I'm going to say, chance at redemption if you do fall in the first game, but if you make it through, it's a best of 1 advantage, right? So you instantly go to finals. You don't have to play any matches for the rest of the day. Once you win this game, you are in the finals. Is this something you want to cheese out? Do you want to play safe? How do you expect both teams going in?
Well, there's always the, at Worlds, there's this phenomenon that the team that goes into play-ins does better because you get more games to practice. So maybe dropping it into the lower bracket isn't that bad of a deal, but overall, I think you definitely feel more comfortable if you do end up winning this game. And obviously, as you asked the expectation, I think Vietnam has shown that they are a very strong region, and I don't see any reason for them to falter again.
I 100% agree with you, Spoots, because we've seen their sort of dominance in their regional qualifiers. They didn't drop a single game, one of the quickest game times coming through, and then from now you move on to the FSL Elite, when we'll start to comparing a bit more, instead of micro metas in the region, it's more of like a global meta in this tournament, right? Despite them having sort of different preferences, they still show that they are the same, they do have the same form.
One thing, you want to talk about meta, I hope one thing that we don't see again, because that was the main thing for me when it came to draft, was the Ezreal Yumi.
Okay.
Because that thing really tilted me, and I still remember it now.
Yeah. I think Ezreal Yumi is one of those champions combinations that, you do have to practice and scrim a lot with to get maximum value from. So far, we've seen a preference for these sort of enchanter supports and even hard engage, right? So you think of the support pool, it's like Nami, Janna, Nautilus. It's always these champions that are very reliable when it comes to engaging and disengaging. So I think maybe stick to that as opposed to the Ezreal Yumi might be the better way to achieve victory. Alright, now we will be jumping to a video of the highlights for yesterday at least. Sit back and enjoy. Alright, what an interesting video. We saw a couple of highlight plays coming through from the ladies, and the results at the end speak volumes about the performance that each team had. You could see, despite, ups and downs, they've all sort of enjoyed the event, at least for day 1. Coming to day 2, you do need that sort of vigor and energy to inspire and propel you forward, because it is a 2-day tournament, right?
Yep.
You can't get mentally fatigued, you can't get tilted despite your performance in day 1.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of amazing fights. I think in the highlights you did see a lot of them. The best of the best that we had yesterday. Today, I don't think we're going to slow down. In fact, I think we're going to get faster.
Right, yeah.
As you know, they continue to chase the championship for FSL.
I was
Elite.
joking to like Riku about this. I think in the last game where they were consistently fighting, right? I was doing like play-by-play. I was like, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to catch my breath this game. We need like 3 play-by-play players, casters coming in because they're going non-stop at it. I don't think, like you said, no, today's going to be any different. In fact, coming through, it might just be more explosive. The players are in the lobby, and we were, seeing the banter coming through as the videos were being played. And I think Urith as well as the AD carry, Bong, were having some friendly chat and conversations about hanging out after the games and taking photos. At the end of the day, that's what FSL is as well. The idea of this international tournament, despite you wanting to see the best League of Legends, you still have this platform for new players to come in, make friends, strengthen the community. And a shining example of this is one of the teams that will be playing later today, Liab, who were previously known as GGTY.
Yeah.
They won the Philippines qualifiers, and then they got picked up by Liab, which is a esports organization in the Philippines. So that's an example, right? You do well, you get recognized, and then people are like, let's sign you.
Yeah, on your screen right now is the schedule for today. Sooner or later, we're going to be jumping into Box Gaming versus Top 10 Dinos, followed by Leah versus Lannister.
That's going to be the second game for today. Remember that these are both best of ones. In the second game of today, it's going to be a bit tougher because it's the last shot for either team, right? If you lose, you're out of the tournament. Effectively, if you win, you progress into the lower bracket finals for a chance at redemption. But for now, Top 10 Dinos and Box Gaming, that's where our attention is going to be focused at, because yesterday, so far, the record has been 0-1. Vietnamese representatives leading the charge. They are one game ahead when you think about it. And I'm curious to see if Box Gaming have Top 10 Dinos number right now, because it seemed as though that Box Gaming were very convincing when they took their victory.
I think it's really going to come down to the draft portion, because I think both these teams, they really excel once they get the picks that they want. I think one thing we were discussing about earlier is Box Ladies' bot lane.
Yeah, I think the bot lane has been quite impressive so far, especially when they drafted the Jinx in the last game. Understanding that if they do Snowball Bong, then well, it's much of an easier game. It's a much easier game rather. On the side of Top 10 Dinos, I was actually talking to Urith at the end of the game, and I was wondering like, why play the Nico when you're saying Yorick is available, right? It was an executive team decision to sort of play that team fight play style as opposed to 1-4 split push.
Okay.
And I think they were just on the first day, it's okay to experiment and say, this time let's try team fighting. If it doesn't work, we can default back to 1-4 split push, and maybe as a team we succeed on that. So game 1 mistakes aside, it's a learning experience, right? So Top 10 Dinos had the night to prepare, they had the night to discuss and renew their draft and come in with sort of new ideas.
So if they do go for the 1-4 right now, the question is then whether or not Box decide, hey, we're going to ban the Yorick, you're not going to be able to play this style. If you go for the team fight style again, we already shown that we can beat you. I think we're just going to do it again.
Right. I think the Yorick from Urith in the previous previous days' games were actually super impressive. The running joke that I had was she was playing like PvE, right? World of Warcraft classic. Fighting minions, farming up, and then you hit that point where you become the raid boss. You have to 1v2, and people come at you, there's nothing they can do. So right now we are into picks and bans, and you can see instantly the Ahri being banned out against Amelia, and two of her, I would say, pocket picks are the Ahri and the Zoe as well. The Syndra is just for good measure. I don't think that we've seen Box Gaming at all want to allow the Syndra through the draft in any stage of FSL or FSL Elite.
And this is a super smart coming in from Box Gaming, I think. When you think of Top 10 Dinos, you think about their mid lane, you think about their jungler. So by banning away these champions that Amelia likes to play, I think they're really handicapping what Top 10 Dinos want to do.
Yeah, and the response is clear as well from Top 10 Dinos. They say, well, Urith is going to play the 1-4, most likely here, if that's the winning strategy. So what we do is we ban out those bruisers in top lane that's going to give her a run for her money when it comes to 1v1ing in the late game.
Alright, at the moment, you do see Nautilus banned down, and that's something that Top 10 Dinos, they have always picked up in their first rotation. At the moment, Ren has picked away Poppy, that, it's a bit of a denial pick for Smubby, but Kane currently still on the board. We saw a very strong performance yesterday, in fact, against Box, and it is locked in, so I have great expectations for this champion, and I hope Smubby doesn't let us down.
I think this is an interesting adaptation because we tend to see in the global meta that it is, Jarvan Sejuani that's super popular. When your opponents pick Poppy, that Jarvan engage potential is denied, so as a result, you kind of have to default to something else. In this case, the Kane does the job because Smubby is so proficient on that champion, it does sort of fit their 1-4 playstyle in the sense that Kayn can shadow the side lanes and exert a bit more pressure in that sense.
Yeah, but right now we do see the Zoe locked in for Amelia, and I was talking about handicap earlier, but when you give over the Kayn and the Zoe, you're not handicapping anyone but yourself.
Now the bait here has been set, I think, at least to a certain point. Top 10 Dinos are considering whether they want to play the Morgana, but because their opponents have got the Nami, it makes that matchup a bit trickier. We saw, and I talked through the dynamics of this lane, the fact that Nami so many teams to remove the Black Shield early on, it becomes a bit more tricky lane against her, and at the end of it, the Enchanter with a long-range ADC is always going to have the advantage against the Kai'Sa who has to walk up the CS range. Nami Caitlyn and Nami Lucian are all going to be threats if you think about how this matchup is going to be played out.
Yep, Nami Caitlyn definitely, I think the strongest pick that you can go for here, but one thing I want to draw attention to is Box Gaming's bans. They're focusing towards the top side now. Both Nico and Yorick are taken off the board, so what is Yurif going to go for? This is... Tahm Kench.
We haven't seen Tahm Kench at all, and it is almost characteristic, right? Okay, it's going to be a thresh locked in. Yeah, debated. I was about to say, it's not characteristic at all of either of these teams to play Tahm Kench. The thresh is a bit more in the vein of the knowledge that Vayne likes to pick up. You hook, you find the engage, you bring the utility, and it's going to be the Tristana Lucian, so this might just be a mid lane Lucian coming through, or mid lane Tristana, considering that, we have seen that play quite a bit in the past.
Yeah, well, not here, but over in Europe, so that is a bit of a funky pick that they might be looking to pick up. Neither of these champions we've really seen it.
With the Yorick and the Nico band down, it's going to be the Swain in the top lane for Yurifa. You can see on her camera, she's kind of like, ugh, what do we go for here? I think Swain is a decent choice because she has had some experience on that champion, but it funnels their composition into a bit more double AP in solo lanes.
Yeah, right now I'm not really looking to Yurif to carry. It's still the mid jungle show today, but Yurif on this Swain has shown to be very stable. She likes to prefer these safe ranged laners when she is unable to take the Yorick. But keep in mind, Swain did get a few buffs, so he is in a much stronger position than he used to be.
Yeah, the champion itself does have this infinite scaling mechanic now. Every time you use your passive, you do get a bonus amount of health stacking on top of your already big health bar, and Yurith on this Swain is going to be very crucial when it comes to making picks for her team as well, because of the passive in itself being able to pull people back when you land CC. I do hope to see her use that to proper effect.
Yeah, and one thing we haven't talked about is, the junglers. We talk about Kayn, but I want to draw attention to Elise, because this is something that you have to look out for whenever she's picked, because she is that very volatile jungler that if she is unable to get a hit, she's just going to become a cocoon bot the rest of the game.
But if she does get a hit, and well, for the most part, Elise does have the early prio in the jungle. She can one-shot and chunk champions very quickly, especially if you do go for the Electrocute Keystone, which is the default standard for most Elise junglers. For levels 1 to 5, you do have that ability to invade and play more aggressively. At level 6, it kind of equals out because you don't get a true ultimate. You get a level 6 when you're already already present transform, right? So it's not much of a power spike if you think of it at level 6. But on to 5, sure, go ahead. You have multiple skills when you do transform.
Yeah, it's a bit of an overloaded kit. What I like to see on Elise is once you get level 3, you go for it again, because that is the window where you can look for that opportunity to snowball yourself ahead and get the rest of your lanes ahead as well.
You're talking about, forcing ganks, or at least making your presence felt on the map at level 3. When you are partnered with the Poppy in the top side, you actually do have the ability to sort of force Swain's flash early on and then re-gank the lane. Both Swain and Zoe in these solo lanes are extremely susceptible to ganks. They don't have much mobility. So you need to respect the fact that Elise can come in from the back, come in with a flanking angle, use the cocoon and lock you up.
Keep in mind though, they are ranged, so if Yurif and Amelia are able to, be mindful that, hey, Elix is going to come for me early, you just back off in the lane and, not even give the opportunity over.
Yeah, we talked a lot about solo lanes, mid-jungle synergy. Let's talk about bot lane now, because the previous time that Box Gaming won against top 10 Dinos was through the AD carry. Bong on Jinx snowballed very heavily in a Rift Herald fight. She picked up something like 3 kills, right? And she had 18-minute 2 core items, which was ridiculous timing. From then on, they snowballed the game. This time on Lucian, also known to be another early game strength AD carry. How do you feel this matchup is going to play out in the bot lane?
Well, right now, Lucian's obviously not a hyper carry like the Jinx is, but you can still snowball the champion pretty well if you get a hit. In the early game, mid game, Lucian hitting the power spikes can be quite the monster, can be quite difficult to deal with, especially if you go for the slower build on Kai'Sa, you know, the mana immune.
Right. I think in this regard, you have to respect the scaling. You have to go for the Storm Razor regardless, because the moment you go for mana immune, right, you're not doing any damage. You're slowly scaling up with time, not items. And the Lucian has this opportunity, this window to just pressure you down consistently.
On your screen right now, we're just reminding you who is playing right now, I guess.
It's also a hit-to-hit in terms of matchup, right? So you see in the first line, it's going to be AD carries, like the second line is mid laners, the third line is going to be the junglers, and then the top laners as well as the supports. But for now, we're going to cut to a video showing and showcasing both teams. All right, we're in the game, but it's a bit of a pause coming through. And all of you here at the venue, thank you so much for dropping by Comax in. It's 12 in the afternoon. It's not too early, it's not too late, but it's a perfect time for League of Legends. As we'll unpause and jump into the game. Oh, hold on, it's back to us. And now it's back to the game.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright, well, we don't see the electrocute Poppy again, so obviously not as much confidence as Bubby coming into this game is Ren.
Well, this is a top lane Poppy, so it makes sense to go for Grasp of the Undying because you can proc it consistently against the Swain. I say consistently, it's melee versus range, right? So it's kind of tricky.
You can pop with your buckler, but that's about it unless you go all in on him.
Yeah, but meanwhile, you think about how electrocute Poppy in the jungle works. You kind of do have the benefit of chunking people out very quickly when you do find them, right? So it's usually a wall slam into auto Q. That's how you get electrocute off. In the top side against Swain, it's kind of tough to harass and poke the Swain down. Let's just say.
Alright, at the moment though, we do see Tristana with the Prestige attack. Now this is a mid lane Tristana. She's gonna probably outrange and, you know, gain priority over the Zoe. So picking up this Prestige attack tells me that she wants to go in, you know, for those occasional pokes. She wants to, you know, continue proccing that Keystone onto the enemy laner.
In response also, the idea of this Tristana against Zoe is great because every time you get hit by a bubble, there's that small delay where you can rocket jump away and sort of displace yourself to avoid the paddle style coming through. That's the general combo, right, from Zoe. So if you do have the opportunity, you know, rocket jump on cooldown, at least you can, or off cooldown, at least you can still jump away when you get caught.
Big brain counterplay coming in from the mid lane.
Or you can just take cleanse, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a plan too, but now Amelia, yesterday we've seen her on the Zoe 2, played that champion to, you know, huge success, and we were thinking that maybe you won't see this champion on Amelia anymore, but she does manage to find it once again, so it could be interesting how this goes, especially with this Tristana counterpick.
The nature of Zoe though, like you're talking about Amelia's sort of pocket Zoe pick, the nature of the champion in itself is so irritating though, because it is one of those facilitators of like choke points. You can't walk up to check Fog of War and chokes because you're gonna get hit by a bubble next to the wall. In that regard, you have to respect the champion just so much more.
Let's talk about the bot lane again though, because we do see Vayne pick up this Thresh. We haven't seen her on this champion. In fact, we've seen her on Nautilus for the most of the tournament before it started to get banned later yesterday.
Alright.
Oh, alright.
That makes sense. Now they're just restarting and rejoining the game. Well, yeah, please continue your point.
No, I want to... Because with Thresh now, you really have to land that hook. You don't have the ultimate, you don't have the passive to, you know, snare whoever you're trying to lock down. Right. So this hook on Thresh is really the most important thing that you can look for. I think in team fights, this is the main engage that we have to look out for.
Yeah, but also more window or more margin for error, right, if you think about it that way, because you don't have the big hitbox of the Dredge line. Now, Death Sentence is kind of smaller, in the sense that you also cannot just press R of Depth Charge on Nautilus anymore. You kind of have to be in the right position at the right time, so more windows for mistakes here on the bot lane. Whether they can play that duo properly is a whole other question. I think you were saying how Vortex and Vayne leaves a bit to be desired sometimes when it comes to playing the Kai'Sa Nautilus, this time on Kai'Sa Thresh. Perhaps a bit more, even more to be left to be desired.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I like to say that top 10 dinos, they only play through mid. Because in the bot side, they don't really, you know, focus around their AD carry. Most of the time, sometimes in team fights, you don't even see Kai'Sa get in the thick of things. He isn't able to deal damage. And now you give her a significantly less tanky support who has, you know, less of a chance to engage. But
speaking of engage, Euruf is going to spot out 5 members of Box Gaming invading the top Tri-Brush, but they will just scare her off. No vision really being put down though as they are rotating over to the Raptors, but I wonder if this is going to get spotted out as well. They're 0 for 1 so far, and they're going to be 0 for 2, but Spubby is caught sleeping here, has to flash over the wall. Oh man, this is what happens when you check Facebook, bro.
That's a real feels bad coming in from Spubby. I mean, that's your main playmaker in the early game. You want this Kane to get your lanes ahead, and when you're lacking the flash at 1 minute, that really just causes your next few ganks to be pretty damn lackluster.
That being said, there are still windows for Spubby to get into these lanes due to her ability to cross the walls with her E.
Yep.
Overall, we did see Amelia start with a Sleepy Trouble Bubble level 1, which is going to hurt her ability to push out the lane. HHQ is going to have a free level 1, so to speak.
Yep, we should definitely begin to see this Zoe be pushed in towards the tower, especially in the early levels, just because of Tristana's, you know, she's an AD champion, she's going to push you in, especially in the mid lane matchup. So, what that means is, if you're Elise, you're not going to have much of an opportunity to gank mid, so now you begin to look top.
Speaking of look top, she's walking to the bot lane. This is a level 2 Elise. Didn't see exactly what she leveled up. It's going to be the W first and the second skill being held off for now. So it hasn't really picked up the second skill just yet.
Alright, looks like she's not looking top. She's just going for a bit of an invade. Of course, you know, they did spawn out Kane in the top side, but Ward is going to spawn out the Elise here. Taking the blue buff, so that's information for both junglers.
Hold on, there you go. The level 2 all-in coming through, press the attack, ignite Tristana. You're talking about this, right? The fact that you have pressed the attack as a keystone makes it so much more dangerous to lane against the Tristana. And Amelia in the first game of today not having the best day out. Meanwhile, Flay in the bot lane, gonna miss. Long just gonna walk into the river here to get some vision down.
Yeah, right now in this bot lane, as we are looking at it, I think one thing we already alluded to this, let's hold that.
Hold that as the hook connects onto the AD carry, having to move away now using the heal preemptively. KZ and Bong will burn 2 summer spells in response for nothing, and Vayne connecting the hooks is a important point because now they can threaten the all-in once more without the heal, without the ignite.
Yeah, that was what I'm talking about, right? I mean, this bot lane coming from top 10 Dinos, they're very reactive. Meanwhile, on the side of Fox Gaming, they're very aggressive. So, Bong and KZ, it's up to them to make something happen as we do see a skirmish at the top side.
This is a level 3 Kane though. She doesn't want to take this fight despite having the level advantage. Instead, we'll just back off because she doesn't have the top lane prio just yet. But Miwa jumping in, HHQ trying to look for the kill. Rocket jump being used to get into the pit means that she will not be able to chase out. And Miwa's probably super mobile, will just back off. Still a good deal of damage down to this reactive bot lane, top 10 Dinos, getting the bare brunt of the damage in these trades.
That's 100 health Kai'Sa against Illusion. You gotta be very, very careful and quick. You're stepping and you're gonna get bubbled again by this Nami. Does she ever miss?
Does she ever miss? Meanwhile, the mid lane flashing away from the cocoon. Action all across the board, 4 minutes in. Amelia now using the Paddle Star to chunk HHQ back in response, but the bone plating makes it such that it doesn't really hurt all too much.
A lot of early action already being seen across the map. In the bot side, we already... Oh, that's already one turret plating gone and another about to be taken, you would think, in the next rotation. So Vortex and Vayne, they have to continue to hold their own. They have to step up.
And we were talking about this Nami pick, right? The fact that you couple it with Illusion, this early aggressive, early lead ADC, that's giving them such a strong force in the bot lane. Box Gaming really putting the pressure down on top 10 Dinos in this first game.
Yeah, you can tell right now, Kai'Sa picking up the call. She really doesn't want to go for these early fights. She wants to, you know, sit back, farm up, and scale until the point where she can become that hyper carry for top 10 Dinos.
You know, Zoe, Amelia, despite being on her pocket pick, still getting shoved under the turret, having to respect the fact that she got all in earlier on. She's not having a good day either, and multiple lanes of top 10 Dinos, apart from Urif in the top side, are getting pressured out quite heavily, in fact.
Yep, Urif always that solid rock, not really, you know, losing too much when she does face these tough top lane matchups. But across the board, I want to see Amelia begin to, you know, when she gets her summoner spells back, when she hits those first item breakpoints, she has to look for opportunities to get back into this game. I mean, 0-1 and 0 not that far behind, but we've seen after all this.
On coming through the DP Trouble Bubble is going to connect onto the AD carry, but meanwhile, using the counter effect Ignite, a good deal of damage down to HHQ, has to be careful here. The mid is coming through, it's going to be Spubby that picks up the kill off the flag. The creative angles from the Kane makes that kill stick.
That's what we are talking about. You want, instead of Elise finding the early opportunities, in fact, it's the Kane who comes up behind the Tristana and is able to pick up the kill, securing an assist for the Zoe. She's going to be feeling a little bit more comfortable now in this lane.
Playing super aggressive in the mid lane, HHQ finally getting punished, and this more or less equalizes the gold deficit early on. Amelia will get a recall, will be able to buy up her items and at least buy some space for herself to breathe for now.
You absolutely have to. We did see Tristana, you know, the full rotation that she does. She jumps on you, she procs, press the attack, and then the bomb goes off. So that is a lot of damage in a very short span of time, and you have to respect the potential for her to jump on you. You talked about the potential of her jumping away when you use Sleepy Trouble Bubble, but when you use it aggressively, that can also be a great tool for an engage.
And not to mention, the reset on the rocket jump actually procs when you do detonate the explosive charge. So in that sense, there is a window for you to go in and go out as long as you land the auto attack sufficient, you know, enough to reset it. Meanwhile here in the river, we're going to see a fight break out. Bubby here getting focused down from, and the ignite coming through as well. She's going to dash through the wall, but there you go, the reset coming through. As Bubby has to be very careful. One more auto attack might finish her off. The Sleepy Trouble Bubble is not enough, and Europe gets the kill.
Ooh, HHQ overstepping your bounds way too much there. I mean, Kane already made it over the wall. Sure, you expend the flash coming in from the jungler, but is it really worth giving up your life? 1, 2, and 0 now. Very unfortunate.
Unfortunately, indeed, they will see Bubby on the top side, and this signals to Box Gaming that, hey, you know what, Dragon is available. Let's go and take a peek at this objective. But the Scryer's Bloom being used forces Ali away, so no free objective for them this time.
Yep, so it could have been a kill for a dragon, but at the end of the day, it is a kill for absolutely nothing. And now, Tristana is the one being pushed under tower. She's not going to have too much of an issue farming because she is an AD carry, but this is still, you know, a far cry from what we saw earlier on in the game.
Game 1 of today, I expected nothing less. Both these teams, bloodthirsty and aggressive, coming in, looking for a spot in the finals. This is a best of 1, and the winner is going to progress to the finals after all.
Yep, for everyone joining us, the scoreboard does not reflect it, but we have seen a lot of violence all over the map already. It just hasn't resulted in too many kills, and the goal is dead on even.
Yeah, the game state now, we're going to see the second round of buffs come up, and the junglers are going to reset. And Bubby, she was playing on the top side quite a bit earlier, vertical jungling from her own red buff to an enemy blue buff, so she has to respect that and stay close to that side of the map. Meanwhile, HHQ still looking for the pick, still leaning to the top side.
Yeah, HHQ has been in that river more than the lane actually, I think, at this point. Just have to be very careful about not getting collapsed on once again by all three members. You can see that Swain is also pushing up in that lane. That one kill that was given over to her, doing wonderful.
But look at the scoreboard. Because she's been leaning towards the river a lot, she's actually down quite a bit of CS. It's at least 10 now after she collected the last wave, and it's only going to snowball as she continuously makes her way to the top side. Meanwhile, here in the river, Ren is going to find Bubby, and she's going to use the Steadfast Presence to root her, and that's the kill coming through from the Vietnamese mid laner. A great use from Ren to deny the escape opportunity.
Yep, they did in fact use the Rift Scuttle as bait, and even though Bubby managed to get the objective, does have to trade her life for the crab.
In fact, I think it was Ali that got the Scuttle Crab there, so it belongs to Box Gaming right now. As you can see, it's lit up blue, so not even a Scuttle Crab, that's a fuse bad.
Oh, that's a huge fuse bad.
Oh, bot lane flashing in, KZ has to get out of this fight. Meanwhile, the box coming through is going to deny this. Red with a great wall slam, they should get the counter kill here, and they will be able to get out, I believe. Vayne forward, oh man, the turrets, too good. Ren doesn't have enough health right now, only the Merc threads in the top side.
Now that's a 1-4-2 in the favor of top 10 Dinos right now. 1-0-1 on this Kai'Sa. They want to make it more.
Want to make it more. Bubby's looking here, pathing through the wall. The damage coming through the Chilling Smite as well. Box, you're dead for sure. Vortex gets the gold, and she now equalizes a bit of the deficit in the bot lane.
Yep, still a hefty chunk of CS behind, but with all these kills and assists, this Kai'Sa is not that far behind in terms of gold. Credit to Bubby coming in with the creative gank path to take down Delusion.
Now remember that despite all this attention in the mid and bot lane, Yurif is like having the time of her life.
Yep.
This is what I joke about, right? Yurif plays PvE in the top lane, just farms, doesn't want to fight, tries to help whenever she can, but overall she just wants to be that raid boss in the end game, 1v4, split pushing. She's on track, she's going to hit that point soon. I say soon, it's like another 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, well, Swain does have to take a lot to get going. Now beginning to skirmish with the Poppy actually, but take a look at the CS deficit in the bot lane is actually being equalized by Yurif here in the top lane because of the Poppy TP that found absolutely nothing in the bot side.
Yeah, thankfully Yurif is going to scale up, but with the nature of Swain is such that if you get healing reduction, champion becomes slightly less oppressive to deal with. So there are tools that Box Gaming can pick up to counter play against the Swain.
Oh man, they're baiting Spubby again. They really want to shut down this Kane.
How long is too long? How long are they going to stay? Okay, it seems like 20 seconds is a bit too much. They're just going to start the buff, claim it for themselves, and then probably back off here.
Yep, Zoe now going to face check. Gonna be very careful. They don't want to suffer another collapse. But right now, all three members pathing towards the top side. Swain, you have to be worried.
Yeah, because Amelia used the portal to jump over, they know that there's three members top side, so Europe has to respect this early flash, using the demonic exception as well. But the damage coming through, the pocket watch is gonna keep her alive, and she's still alive, stealing up. She's alive for one more, and she might just get another kill in response. Ali managing to survive with a sliver of health. I thought there was going to be counterplay out, but Europe not enough. Too little, too late.
Yeah, absolutely not enough. And good tower aggro juggling coming in from top Box Gaming rather. But top 10 Dinos, this is their opportunity to take this dragon for free.
They see three members on the top side, and top 10 Dinos make the call. This objective should not be contested if you are top 10 Dinos. Just walk over, get it, and then reset.
Yep, Elise is not there. Confirmed by Zoe, just face checking towards the top side river. And Swain is TPing back towards tops. Not going to lose too much here, just giving over 300 gold for the kill.
In terms of CS, she still has a small lead, but let's take a gander at the goal difference, because despite having a small CS lead, she's slightly behind. The goal right now is more or less focused on the mid lane. Amelia is the only one with a lead. Every other lane here is suffering a bit of a defeat here.
Yep.
Bobby coming in, a good deal of damage down KZ. He's probably gonna fall, and Vortex gets the kill credit, and now they have to back off. Oh, the culling is so much damage. Feini with the pocket watch, and here comes Amelia. The damage not really finding his target, but a sleepy trouble bubble might just be there.
Yep.
They manage to proc it, and they back off.
Yep, Spubby has been visiting this bot lane a lot recently, really wanting to shut down this this Lucian on the side of Box Gaming, and I think she's been doing pretty well, but the fact that they had to bring Zoe down allowed HHQ so much time to just pick up this tar plating in the mid lane.
Berserker's Greaves, double Duran Blades should be enough damage to get her a couple of plates. We're approaching 13 minutes, so there's another minute more before those environmental gold objectives fall.
Now let's get a quick checkup on the Elise though. I think earlier we did talk about the fact that she had to look for early opportunities. 1-0 and 1 not doing too well, but when you only have 4 kills on the board, I guess 50% is good enough.
50% is definitely good enough. 50% kill participation at least. In terms of items, she's not too far behind either. In fact, I would wager to say she's a hit in terms of picking up the sword boots, whereas Spubby hasn't really picked up or upgraded her boots just yet. A lot of pings on the top side, they see this play in motion. You have to respect Vayne's roams coming through, because a death sentence is very literal in this game.
Yep, the moment you get hit by that skill shot, you get piled on by this Kane, you get piled on by this Zoe, you're instantly popped. You can't get back into the game for the next 20 seconds, and that you don't want to give your opponents any sort of opportunity to look for any more objectives.
You're going for the Rod of Ages is gonna start scaling up in line with the idea of what this champion and what this player wants to do. Meanwhile, Spubby here going to be cleaning out the control ward.
Yep, Ali understanding that Kane is now top, having that information, just backs off. Doesn't want to risk a counter gag now.
The respect towards Amelia is very obvious here. You can see every time she walks out of the lane, they spam pings, they show that there's going to be some sort of threat around the river, and everyone around the area has to back off.
Man, Box Gaming, they really like this topside jungle, and they are going to start up this Rift Herald, but they have full knowledge that Kane is still on this side of the map.
Yep, Spubby walking over the wall is going to grant vision of that, and does the play get set up here? Are they going to back off?
Swain isn't here.
Swain isn't here at all, so this should be a Rift Herald being picked up.
Yep, that is, they didn't want to risk the 2v3 going in for the Rift Herald, so free Rift Herald going to the side of Box Gaming. Meanwhile, bot side, we do continue to see, you know, this CS lead continue to build in favor of Lucian, and you have to think she is beginning to hit these items, and she is going to be able to... Oh!
Great flash in and the dash away. Relentless Pursuit is not enough. Vortex now, a good deal of damage down to Casey. She's ticking down to Ignite, but here comes the teleport. Oh man, a great lantern out. And they disengage from this fight, but HHQ walking down the river. She doesn't want to fight this. She's going to get chucked out. What are you doing?
That was just a huge mistake coming in from HHQ. Why are you in that jungle when you know there is a collapse going on in the bot side? What are you doing?
An interesting play to say the least, with an emphasis on the INT. Now the rest of the team roaming down the bot lane.
Yep, and the result of that is now that not only they defend their bot side, but Urif is given free reign to put down chunks of damage on this top side tower, but Rift Herald is started on bot.
Like I said, they roam down to the bot lane. They want to get some sort of objective off this. They jam the Rift Herald down. It's probably going to get this turret at least, and now, what is the next course of action? Do they just trade this? Do they try to get a second charge off, or do they just allow Urif to take this? Because she doesn't have teleport, she cannot rejoin this fight.
Yep, oh. Something's gonna start out here. I don't think they do get a second charge, but that's about it, I think.
They still look like they want more here as, oh, a great Paddle Star onto Ali, but here we go, Red just going deep past the bot tier 2. The Paddle Star might just be enough, and they trade 1-for-1, and they're going back in for this fight. They're backing off now. They say we don't want to do anything more here, but speaking of which, Elima coming in with the damage. It's so split on multiple fronts. We have to zoom out a little bit because Spubby's still going in. They want the kill. They're looking for Elima now as Bong leads the charge.
Yep, Amelia on the side, not really having... Oh!
How does she keep finding these? I don't know. She equalizes the deficit just by a little bit. It's going to be a 2-for-2 at the end, but off the backs of the magnificent paddle stars from the mid laner of top 10 dinos.
Yep, magnificent paddle stars. We've been seeing this throughout the entire tournament, not just in Elite, but also in the qualifiers. Why do you keep giving Amelia this Zoe when, even when you put her behind early, she is still this monster that can find these, you know, disgusting battle stars?
Yeah, you have to respect the fact that he's starting to hurt quite a bit with the stats coming through.
Yep, 100%. I think in these next fights, because of the advantage that they did manage to find on this Zoe, it's gonna be super difficult. And Box Gaming have to be very mindful that these paddle stars are just gonna start coming out of the woodwork and can chunk you for more than half your health.
Now you have to worry because there's so many angles that top 10 dinos are coming from. There's like, oh, there's a cave behind us, there are paddle stars from the front. How do we respect this? And even a fresh death sentence from the side. They're gonna get the dragon, they're gonna back off Spubby. Now the next target to fall, the Culling's gonna get the kill. I don't think they can chase for more. Urif using the flash to get out of this fight, they don't want to stick around.
Yeah, Box Gaming with these snap and gauge is really surprising top 10 dinos over and over again. First in the bot side, now on the jungle, but the dragon advantage does go over to the red side in exchange for the jungler's life.
I think I'd be happy with that trade coming through. You trade the life of Spubby for an objective, and the Mountain Dragon actually opens up the opportunity for Baron now because Kai'Sa, she is going for that scaling build, yes, but she is very adept at taking Baron buff when it comes to later on in the game.
Yep, right now we are approaching the timings where team fights really start to become much more influential. I'm gonna hold that.
I feel like we are classically trained now anytime Spubby comes in from the side, we're just like, oh, this might be a fight.
Just super spooky because I don't want to jump into a point and then, you know, a fight breaks out and I lose everything that I'm about to say. Spubby has been doing that to me a lot recently.
It doesn't help that she goes for Shadow Assassin Kayn, so that results in her just having to just run in with Moby Boots, pop a target and back off.
Yeah, you really don't expect Kayn to be doing this much damage. At this point in the game, you're really waiting until, you know, in the 22-minute mark before she really begins this damage. But the fact that she was at bot so much and was able to pick up that many assists, it really ramped up her very early on.
Still 136, packing a lot of assists, but doesn't really have the best KDA to speak of. Of course, we're not looking exactly at KDA only.
Yep, Urif right now towards the bot side. You would expect that once Elise shows her face, she is going to begin to start playing PvE, but nope, she's actually just moving up to... No, she understands that Box could collapse, and so she is just backing off. She wants to play safe, not wanting to allow any opportunity to get herself killed.
But by withdrawing her pressure on the bot side, Urif opens up the top half for Amelia to just collect farm on this top tier 1. They're waiting for that point. They're waiting for the Lich Bane Zoe to come online. That's when they can start popping Bong. That's when HHQ has to be careful of the paddle stars coming through. Sure, you have a Poppy in the front line to soak the damage, but I don't know how many paddle stars she could conceivably tank up.
With the amount of MR she's building, I think earlier we did see in the bot side skirmish, she was actually able to tank quite well. So this Poppy definitely has to be in the front line. Box Gaming, they have to play a front to back right now, and even then, Amelia with her ability to find, you know, these random pickoffs with the Battlestar you have to wonder where in the team fight does Ren have to be.
Yeah, positioning is going to be pretty key here for Box Gaming. A stray Paddle Star, a stray Sleepy Trouble Bubble, a stray Death Sentence, and you pretty much lose the team fight after getting picked.
Alright, both teams right now setting up around Baron, just contesting a bit of vision, as you would expect now with the Mountain Drake. Baron does become a very critical objective on the board.
We have received word there is going to be a mouse issue coming through, so it's something we saw yesterday, but they're just resetting this one out. Shouldn't be too long of a technical pause, so once we do get that down, we will be jumping back into game. But as it stands, we can see on our screen on the right, Box Gaming with a small lead. It's not insurmountable, it's only 1,001 gold lead. Overall, item-wise, it's still in favor of Box Gaming, I'll have to say.
Yeah, 1,001 goal lead at 20 minutes, not actually, that big of a deal. I do expect that the next team fight is going to be very key, because what happens after that team fight really decides how the rest of this game is going to go. And I think once you take 1 or 2 members off the board, that Baron is looking really, really tasty.
We're hitting that point where Baron is going to be an option for sure if you do find a pick or a key fight. Opening up the map is going to be crucial as well, so we have to see how this one pans out. Do you think that Box Gaming are going to be able to deal with the 1-4 coming through? Because we're starting to see some semblance of that.
Well, right now they are grouping up, so if they do go for the 1-4, Elise is hovering around this top side. Ooh, what happened?
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay, we don't have the technical difficulties, yes.
We're going to have to figure out what happened there, as I think, in line with what happened yesterday, maybe a cable came loose and we're trying to figure out what's going on. We can still hear the in-game audio though, so it's,
we can see it from the observer's PC.
Oh my, okay, this is like next level casting. I'm just going to like lean over and see what's going on and try cast that, because I can't see exactly what's happening on our screen.
Something's happening at the bot side.
Okay, I can see it's going to be jungle now.
Yeah.
I hear Peril Stars.
This is next level, man.
This is next level casting. Oh, there's a team fight in the jungle. I can't really see what's going on. Alright, this is troll now.
This is troll.
I think it was a shutdown coming through from top 10 Dinos. I saw red
top 10
color, yeah.
I see a double kill.
Okay, it's a double kill for top 10 Dinos. Kai'Sa's gonna go on in, I believe. And the fight looks like it's still going down with the Sleepy Trouble Bubble connecting. Zoe's gonna land the damage down. The kill though can't really be seen from here.
That's a Poppy, so it's very tanky.
Oh, Poppy's just soaking the damage. There's no way that the kills are coming through. And my man, you might have to move out of the way. I can't see anything right here.
Yeah, they just do manage to back off. So we're just gonna return to a bit more stable game state. Double kill coming in from the Kai'Sa. This is going super well.
Alright. As it stands, I believe top 10 Dinos were the ones that managed to find the picks there, so it should allow them to convert into a small lead. Apologies that you can't really watch the game, instead you're just watching us cast this like third hand.
Yeah, if you are joining us, we are in a bit of a technical difficulty situation right now. We don't have the game feed, but we can just sort of see out of the corner of our eye our observer's PC, and Lucian is walking out of base right now, so there's that.
I'm casting this as you're telling me what's going on, so it's not even like first hand.
Alright, I'm
like
the play-by-play now.
3.
Look at me, I am the play-by-play now.
I am the play-by-play now. Okay, our screen's back on. Right, great.
Lit.
Nice, you should be able to hop back into game. Guys, alt tap pen ready.
Oh man, okay, they took a dragon.
Yeah, they took a dragon.
I think it was a cloud.
This must be what it's like to cast there. Cast blind.
What?
So you only hear the game, right? Then you cast without watching the game. You just only listen to sound effects.
Okay. It should be, a mini game. Or you get casters in a room and you just cast with the audio.
Oh yeah, that would actually work.
Would it though? Because it's not working very well right now. Oh man. Okay. Blue team is centering out Baron. I think they're just going for vision right now, but we can't be sure.
What's the fun part? We've had technical issues like 2 days in a row, right?
Yeah.
And I've heard of internet going down. I've heard of like players' PCs not working. Literally, the first time I had to cast game third hand. Oh, it's back on.
Okay, hold that point. We're gonna talk about this first.
Nice.
All right, what has changed? Okay, they picked up an Ocean Drake from since when we last left off. So, oh, okay, it's black again. Oh, wait, oh. Back to audio, boys. Oh man. Okay,
Okay, we can watch this on our screen, and I think Spubby just managed to pick up a kill on HHQ. Finally, we're back into game.
Yep, 1k deficit has now been pretty much equalized. Gold is basically equal right now on the board, but top 10 dinos, they do send around the Baron right now. Might actually start it up because HHQ right now, 20 seconds death timer.
Yeah, that felt like a lifetime, even though it's only like 3 or 4 minutes. And overall, the goal is still Sleepy Trouble, excuse me, rather, Alpha Prison is going to land on the threshold. A lot of damage down. KZ, though, getting the kill. The support isn't really where you want to go to be on, but I think KZ is still going to be happy with that pickup.
Yeah, super unfortunate. Just sitting on a ward for the best part of 30 seconds was Vaney. And now Box, they are going in for more, but...
Oh, flashing over with the wall slam. They will land the chain CC, and they find the AD carry, and that's who they want. Now, do they go for the fight, or do they back off? Amelia now very, very low on health. I have to be careful about her positioning.
Yep, cannot go in with 100 health left. Being you don't want to risk getting killed just for opportune paddle star onto the Nami. But Box, they are starting up the Baron. It isn't melting very quickly, and keep in mind, Spubby's still alive, and she does have Smite.
Spubby's alive. His Baron is falling to 6.2, 5.7, 4.0. It's going down so quickly, that's all.
Wards.
You have to know, and they're zoning away. Spubby, Ren is doing the duty here, using the wall slam to get away. It's going to be stolen away. Instead, rather no, secured by HHQ. And then our top 10 dinos have to flee. They have to scatter like the wind. Vaney is the next target. The explosive charge might just take her down. Ren will finish her off with the last auto attack. Great zoning duty coming in from the top lane of Box Gaming, and that's going to be the Baron taken by the Vietnamese side.
Yep, super good coming in from Ren, just not allowing Spubby anywhere near that Baron pit. They do manage to secure it, as well as yet another kill on this Thresh, and now they are 4k gold firmly in the driver's seat 26 minutes into this game.
It's been back and forth. We've been blind for a while.
Yeah.
But right now, as we take stock of the situation, it's very clear and obvious that the Vietnamese representatives are leading by quite a large margin.
And keep in mind, this is the most we've seen them tested, right? I want to see, because they haven't been able to crack under pressure. They are able to play from behind. They are able to play from an equal standpoint. And right now with the Baron, we've seen how good they can play when they are ahead. And if top 10 dinos want any way of coming back in this game, it's on them to look for an opportune fight.
And here's what I heard yesterday from a couple of the players from top 10 dinos, right? When I was speaking to them, asking them what they thought about Box Gaming, they said, well, the ladies on Box Gaming are actually super clean when it comes to playing the game. They don't make unnecessary mistakes. They don't have any unforced errors. It's up to you to punish them when they're making the clean plays, which is so difficult when it comes down to the game in itself. You can see, despite being behind, despite being equal, they were making all the right moves. And right now that they are ahead, it's going to be, I would imagine, a chokehold, right, for them to finish this game off.
And here's the thing, right? Top 10 dinos, we have questioned their decision making in the past. They're not really very happy just going in, even when they're ahead. And now when they're behind, can they really look for fights to come back in? They really have to understand when and where they can look for it. But right now, Spubby is on the flank. This might be an opportunity, but Box, they do just back off.
Yeah, they have to back off here. The 1-3-1 is being enforced right now, executed rather, as Box Gaming send their mid laner to the top lane to push down, and the top laner to the bot lane to push down as well.
Yeah, keep in mind, double 80 carries coming in from Box. So if this Baron, they're just going to seize down towers really quickly, but...
Flank coming in, KZ is the target. She will survive though as the Redemption looks to keep them all topped up, and they might have overreached here, top 10 dinos. Getting caught by the tidal wave. Vaney now will just fall soon after. Red taking a good deal of damage as they back off. They managed to execute the tank, but they will drop quite low for the most part.
Huge engage coming in from top 10 dinos. They only managed to pick up the Poppy, but is that enough to, stifle this push coming in from Baron empowered minions and 4 members on the mid lane?
Yeah, 4 members sieging down now. We have to pay attention to where the Paddle Stars are coming through from, because at this point the angles are so wide we have to be more careful. Oh, there you go. The chunk coming through. They managed to find the root as Bobby will get the kill there.
Right, Elise being popped right now, not really too much of an issue. I think she doesn't even bring much, tankiness to the fight, let alone, damage right now. 2, 3, and 4, you're not doing much damage, but HHQ in trouble as well, be going in.
Oh, she manages to land the W though, and
4 members coming in for the Tristana. They really want this Yordle.
I don't think she's going to get out of this one. The flash even from Vortex, they want to get this, and they want to get this quick, and it's going to be Spubby that collects the kill there. The Ignite was used, but too little effort right on the counterplay.
Yeah, you have to wonder whether or not that was worth, because they are going to lose this topside tower. Wait, no, I retract that.
He retract and Sleepy Trouble Bubble onto the support. And the play back in, they find the hook. I say that it's a bit too soon as the Battle Star is going to chuck her out. The shutdown coming in, and top 10 Dinos are not going down without a fight. They find multiple picks. And this is the Caster's Curse Boots. We were saying they were so clean. They don't make any unforced errors. And right there, Box Gaming, they falter. They make 3 mistakes in all 3 different lanes.
It does seem that top 10 Dinos, they are forcing some mistakes coming out from Box Gaming, just splitting up the map, forcing them to, spread out. And right now, it does look like, even with a 1.2k deficit, top 10 Dinos, they are looking in a pretty comfortable spot.
Finding the sneaky trouble bubble onto the tank, but it's not a lot of damage done, as the Smite will claim the Dragon. This is a bit of a poor situation to fight in. I think a 2v2 is not what you want. But you can find a Sleepy Trouble Bubble. There is some opportunity for you to get some damage done.
Yep, Zoe has a lot of damage, but only if she doesn't land it on the Poppy. Poppy is very tanky right now. A lot of MR, a lot of armor as well. So when Poppy is there, you have to be very mindful of who you can engage on and where and from when.
I'd just like to request that the observers zoom out a little bit, because these angles from the side are just too hard to watch right now. You can see consistently Spubby and Amelia are just waiting in the wings, consistently trying to land the Paddle Stars. And it's always at these opportune angles that we have to respect.
Yep, a bit of a lull state right now. We are returning as top 10 Dinos. They do back off. They do want to pick up a bit more items before they look for another fight. You can see the makings of a Rabadon's death cap coming from Zoe. That's just going to boost her damage so much.
Amelia now probably coming online. This is the Zoe pocket pick we were talking about. Play through mid and jungle, and look at the respective KDAs of both Spubby as well as Amelia. 5-4 and 7, 5-1 and 6.
Yeah, but I think one thing we really have to do right now is, because since, well, I personally, I was questioning whether or not Vortex
hold your point here. They find the shutdown of this Spubby, and the flank coming in from Bren is so important. Yurif in the center of it all, taking a big deal of damage from the culling, and they will just find the damage onto Yurif as they look to back off. They will sacrifice the Swain, but not before she pops with a good deal of damage in return.
Yep, Swain going down right now means that because Baron is spawning in 10 seconds, and that is a smiteless game for another 20 or so seconds. Right now, Box Gaming, they can go for that big purple worm.
The problem is, if you fight in the Baron pit against the Zoe, there is every opportunity for her to just throw Paddle Stars back and forth and chunk you out before you even secure the objective.
They are starting out though, and you would think that right now you're a 5v3, you might just turn.
She has a smite. Oh, you have to respect this. Bren is playing defense duty. It's down to 4k. Amelia is now and ever. You have to go in. It's 2.5. She has to get a kill. She has to go in. She might not get it as it's secured by Box Gaming, and they look forward to moving into the jungle for the fight.
Yeah, that was just looking super rough. Not exactly sure where that smite went from Zoe, but it is another Baron secure for Box Gaming. Very good job from, Ren to just continue zoning out all the members of top 10 Dinos, and they do manage to find themselves back at another 4k gold lead.
Ren has been spectacular this game, rivaling sort of the performance of Europe in the sense of playing that stable rock. Every time her team has been on Baron, she's been off the back, just defending and making sure no one comes close. In the first Baron, she was responsible for slamming Spubby into the wall to prevent a steal. This time, she makes sure that Amelia doesn't get into the pit.
Yeah, at this point in the game, Poppy is so... Oh my, that is a lot of that. I don't even know why I'm surprised at this point. But yeah, Red is just super tanky right now. She can't just go in 1v4 and not die. I mean, me Poppy, me run at you, you no kill me.
Yeah, you no kill me at all. She has 3 defensive items looking for the Gargoyle Stoneplate Nyx.
Yeah, Baron Empowered minions right now gonna be very difficult for this Zoe to deal with, of course. Increased magic resistance, and the only one who can really clear these waves right now is Vortex, and Kaisa, not exactly known as the wave clear champion.
Yeah, they're sieging down, they're looking for the mid inhibitor. They do have Baron buff, and this is 5 members strong. Spubby's waiting in the wings. A great hook though on the HHQ. Where's this fight going to break out? They immediately eliminate Spubby, and now they're going back in with the counter engage. The tidal wave. Europe has been knocked away, and that is not who you want in the center of your team. They get an inhibitor, they get the jungler, and now this is a 5v4.
Yeah, the question is whether or not they can get more. A little too much coming from Spubby. Props to Box though for understanding that that flank was coming and just rifling it off the get-go.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And right now, they catch Spubby in the rotation. They manage to land the damage, and they pop Urif like a pimple. And now Vayne is the next to fall. This should be the game. Killer Instinct in. Vortex trying their best to rescue the situation, but it's to no avail. Box Gaming super dominant, finds the second Nexus turn as well. They're looking to pad their KDAs, but they should be able to finish off this game.
Yeah, Box Gaming 4-0 now undefeated at FSL Elite, but top 10 Dinos, unfortunately, you are relegated down to the lower bracket.
It was a tough fight. The only team so far to put up this level of challenge against Box Gaming, top 10 Dinos. We'll be going back to the drawing board and reassessing how they played that one out. Still, all credit to the Singaporean representatives for pulling this Vietnamese opposition so far apart.
Yeah, in both games they've played together, it has been a really back and forth, very close from both of these teams, and right now they're going to drop to the lower bracket. We're going to see if the extra practice is actually going to be very beneficial to them, and hopefully we do see them in the finals again, because it has been very explosive so far.
Yeah, speaking of which, Box Gaming won up against top 10 Dinos. The record so far is 2-0, right? Congratulations, Box Gaming will be making it into the winners final. They'll play the best of 3 at the end of the day. As you can see right now on your screen, it's going to be the schedule for today. So top 10 Dinos, like you said, maybe it's the first game jitters, maybe it's just, not the coffee not in the system yet. They still have a window to sort of reset in the lower bracket best of 3. Meanwhile, Box Gaming can take it easy, go for lunch, or at least late breakfast, and try and reset and think about how they want to proceed. For now, guys, we will be throwing it over, I believe, to... Oh, no, Riku isn't ready yet. Okay, we're going to chill out.
Alright, I'm going to continue talking. Well, yesterday we did talk to top 10 Dinos. I think the answer that they gave... I talked to them.
Yeah, you talked to top 10
and,
Dinos.
the answer was that they're going to come in more prepared. They're going to go up against Box. And I think they really showed it this game, but it just hasn't been enough. And right now, top 10 Dinos, they are looking at the second best team here at the tournament, and hopefully they do manage to give us greater competition later on, because I do think they're going to make it back to the finals.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is a journey, albeit a slightly difficult one, back into the finals, but they have displayed that they are at least the second best team here by your assessment, and I'd be inclined to agree with you. I would say that, Liap and Lannisters are not out of this one just yet. They could surprise us on day 2. Maybe right now they have some sort of strategy in place. And of course, we can't discount anyone just yet. So as we move on, I'm quite curious to see what the next set of matches are going to bring. For now, we're going to throw it over to Riku, who has an interview with Box Gaming, the team that has already made it into the finals right now.
Thank you very much. We're here right now with Box ladies. They did an amazing job with Pink and Palm here and Kelsey as our translator. Thank you so much for your time. I'm so excited to see you in the finals. But the question is, how confident are you in winning the finals?
Hai chị cảm thấy thế nào về cảm xúc của mình thế nào sau trận đấu và sự mình cảm thấy là
thì sau trận đấu thì team mình rất là vui và cũng rất là bất ngờ khi đã vì hôm qua bọn mình đã bàn luận chiến thuật cũng khá là kỹ, nên chiến thắng này mình nghĩ là nó cũng được tính toán trước rồi. Là em chỉ cảm thấy đói với cả lạnh nữa.
So yesterday they already talk about like how the gameplay is and the champion what they gonna play, and they feel like kind of good about this game, and they feel like not that hard, and she's only feel hungry and cold.
That's super cute, but it just shows that you are very, very confident in winning and taking it all for the FSL. But my question is, who do you want to face in the finals among the other 2 teams or 3 teams left?
Đội nào mình sẽ muốn đấu cùng ở trong trận chung kết ạ?
Mình nghĩ là ở vòng chung kết thì mình sẽ muốn gặp Thái Lan. Em cũng thế ạ.
So both of them going to meet Thailand team.
Good answer, Thailand team. Oh, come again?
Milo Thái.
What? Because they want to eat Thai hot pot.
Wow, I love the really fun trash talk. But my last question for you would definitely be, I'm curious, what was the mindset with Tristana pick in the mid lane?
Mình cảm thấy thế nào về trước khi mình pick Tristana để đi mid ạ?
Em cảm thấy thì cũng bình thường, tại vì em sẽ em làm điều bất ngờ cho những người mà hâm mộ ấy ạ. Tại vì Tristana thì em đánh cũng là khá là nhiều rồi ạ, chứ không phải là lần đầu tiên em pick.
So he wants to surprise the viewer, and just because she played Tristana a lot before, so that's why she just picked it.
I love that mindset. I love that attitude. Trying something fun and entertaining the viewers at home and as well as here at Suntech. Thank you so much again, Box ladies, for your time. But when we will head on over to a break first, and when we come back, we will be witnessing the match between Liab and Lannister. Don't go away.